Hey guys, Everybody Just here, and I'm bringing to you part 2 of Watch Me Fail, Watch Me Repair It. So this is continuing from the last part, and if you have not seen the first part, go back and do so. I've included a link. So you guys see me placing the closure with my T-pins as I get ready to sew it down to the dome cap and begin the wig construction process. Alrighty, so I'm gonna let you guys watch, but I will chime in as always, you know, whenever it is necessary. Now you saw that little glimpse of the stained lace, another one of my mistakes I made, but again, I will chime in when it's time to. So this is where I started to sew down the lace closure, and this is after you see those little pieces of silver along the lining of the lace closure. As I had T-pinned it all down in the exact place I wanted to sew it down onto the dome cap. So here's where I demonstrate me sewing down the lace closure in the exact place I T-pinned it down on my wig block. So I'm making sure to put that down first. Now, as I started to sew it down, I always like to sew through the lace closure and the dome cap to make sure it's secure. I like to make sure it's secure. I've had one incident before, which I'm deciding whether or not I would ever share it with you guys, where my wig was not secure, okay? So this is why I like to make sure I take the extra steps, and I know it seems tedious, but I take my extra steps to make sure that my wig is absolutely positively secure, okay? So I not only go through the dome cap, through the lace closure, and just keep going around and around and around the very edge of it to make sure it's sewn down to exactly the placement I put it with the T-pins. I go over it once, so I go from one side to the other, and then I go back and reverse it and go back to the other side. So I'm basically, like, if I start at the left side of the closure, you guys left my right. Then I start the left side of the closure sewing it. Then I sew from left to right. And then from right to left to make sure I've sewed over it twice, the perimeter of the lace closure, if that makes any sense. I want to make sure everything's secure. So I'm going to let you guys see how this up close and personal footage, I want you guys to really see the detail of this. And I did not want to skip. And so I'm giving you an even closer view here. And I thought this view was turned the right way, but obviously it is a vertical shot, so it is what it is. And what you see me doing here, after I get to sew it to a certain point, then I tie up the loose ends and I cut it with a pair of scissors. Snip, snip. But make sure that knot is tight, taut, and secure. Okay? And here I'm just giving you guys yet another close-up and personal view of how I like to sew down my lace closure. I always like to go over it twice to make sure that thing is secure and it's not going anywhere at all. It's click clink, locked down. Alright, so here is showing yet another one of my mistakes. While you see the beautiful color of raspberry, prism, midnight blue, passion, purple, and whatever else I use in that color shot I showed you guys in part 1. You do see the part that looks like scalp where I bleached the knots is also a little stained. Yeah. Alright, so I'm using that bundle that I colored without taking out of the packaging. That is midnight blue. Alright, so this is a little glimpse here of how I like to construct my wigs after I sew down the lace closure. So I like to sew through the stitch of the track. I like to sew through the... Oh my goodness, why I can't find my words today. I like to sew through the fold of the wefts of the hair. And as you can see, I'm cutting them. I definitely want to include this in here so you guys can see. And so I'm just sewing them along in a C from left to right along the perimeter of the head of my wig block, curved like the letter C, almost, you know what, not like the letter C, the letter U, that's better, until my tracks meet at the lace closure. Alright, so in this clip I'm showing you guys as I'm getting closer to sewing down my tracks, and they're getting close, as you can see, to meeting the lace closure. So I'm almost done constructing the wig here in this clip. So you'll see in a little bit, I cut the wefts because I like it to lay flat. I've tried the fold over method before, and you wind up lumps and bumps in your head, and you'll be looking at your own head thinking, okay, I know. You think it's braids sticking up, and you're just like, no, especially if you get it braided down flat. No, if you don't do the fold over method right, or if you're not as skilled at it, then never fear, cut the tracks. It's here. Cut them. Cut the tracks. Cut them. It'll lay flat. Comb out whatever's gonna come out of the hair and shed, and then sew them down, seal them, and go. Style that wig. Alright, so what I like to do is once I tie off the thread, those two pieces, I'd like to take the two separate pieces and tie them together in a tie knot. I just do that for extra security. And this is the atrocity that I created for myself, trying to do too much with all that hair color. Look at the knots and the lace. Now, how orange that scalp looks and how unnatural it looks. Surely this can't be the end. It is not.